Pikachu?
G'day, you beautiful people. I feel that I should try and be more Australian considering I live here now, so my challenge runs have not been going as well as I hoped. Out of the 3 I've done so far, none of them have been fully finished, mainly because of this dickhead. I've had a lot of requests to do certain runs with certain Pokemon, and thank you so much for all the suggestions. I can confirm, however, that I will be completing a Can You Beat Pokemon Heart Gold or Soul Silver with just the Cyndaquil. However, I feel I need a break from playing Johto, and I want to repair my relationship with Red, so I think it's time for something a bit different. We're on to Gen 3, and I'm going to go with Pokemon Emerald, and I'll be honest, I've never played this game before, as I bought Sapphire when I was a kid and could not afford it when Emerald did come out. As for the Pokemon of choice this time, well, I wanted to go for another that I loved. Now, back when Gen 2 came out, I fell in love with Slowking, and from that my love for Slowpoke grew. As I got older, I started to relate to it, Snorlax and Slacking a lot more, and honestly, I don't know why. So today I'll be asking the question, can I beat Pokemon Emerald with just a Slowpoke? So let's go over the rules. I can only use Slowpoke in battle unless double battles dictate otherwise. No items in battle, only held items are allowed. No glitches, and no trades. Will Slowpoke be the chosen one? Well, it's time to find out. So the game starts with me arriving to my new home in the back of a truck. How is this not addressed previously, as this is unsafe as fuck? Like seriously, your mum is being such a dick. This is a health and safety nightmare. Does the lorry not have 2 seats for you to sit in it? Don't get me wrong, it must be great as a kid, but as a parent this is fucking madness. Either she's a selfish bitch, or she's trying to make sure delivery driver is having a good time. And for those who don't know what that means, go ask your parents. She asks me if I like our new home, even though I've just got off the moving lorry. Christ, Mum, give me some air. You just had me in a death trap for a few hours. I do need time to adjust. I missed my dad on TV and told to meet the new neighbour, Professor Birch. It's always so convenient that they live so close to you. Now I just walk into his house where I get told to go meet his daughter upstairs. Honestly, the Pokemon games is a shit record for parenting and also for locking doors. I just walk into this young girl's room and try and steal a Pokeball. Now May walks into the room and immediately tries to flirt with me, but then ignores me and just goes on a PC. Yeah, nice meeting you too. I go out into the wild grass where I see Professor Birch being picked on by a Zigzagoon, and from this point I pick my newest member of the clan, Slowpoke, and easily smack the ferret thing into next week. I go to Professor Birch's lab, who for saving his arse gives me Slowpoke. I proudly give him the nickname Carl. Now Carl is named after the great Carl Pilkington. Now people watching this may not know who he is, but to sum up very quickly, he's the idiotic mank in Ricky Gervais's group, and he has a head like a fucking orange. I have put a link in the description to what Carl is about, and I love him so much, and now Slowpoke will carry on his stupidity. I then go see May on Route 103 where we have a trainer battle. She sends out Torchic due to Carl being in the grass slot. Now Carl is equipped with 2 very useful moves for this run, Yawn and Curse. Yawn will make the opposing Pokemon drowsy, and after the second turn puts him to sleep, whereas Curse lowers my speed 1 stage but bumps my attack and defense 1 stage. These 2 moves will be the backbone for this whole run. With Torchic bitch slapped out the way, I head back to the lab to report how I just beat his daughter with my Pokemon. Impressed with the level of violence shown, Birch gives me the Pokedex and now the challenge begins. I go start my journey, and as always, people will just not fuck off and let me do what I want. And my mum decides to give me the human-breaking running shoes to break our DNA code. I plod on west of Oldale Town and start getting Carl's level up. This is probably a good time to look at Slowpoke's stats. Unlike its evolved brothers who have a higher special attack, Slowpoke is the reverse and has a higher attack. This means Curse will only help to serve Carl well going forward. Now to help Carl get through the early stages, it's important that I use Yawn because he's not really going to win a speed battle. By the time I get to Petalburg City, Carl is already level 8. I go to the gym and meet Norman, my dad. Now we're then interrupted by Wally, who wants help getting his own Pokemon. Annoyingly, I have to be the one to teach a little fuck. I hate this bollocks, and now it's me giving the lesson. After watching the gobshite get a Ralts, my dad tells me that I'm not ready to face him yet. Excuse me, how about you accept any challenge, you pussy? Whose gym challenge is this? Not yours. He then tells me to go west and get a few badges first. I arrive in Petalburg Woods where we witness a bit of daylight thuggery as a member of Team Aqua demands some papers from a Devon researcher. He is at the same level as me, but thanks to the earlier grinding I'm able to take it down with no problem. I get thanked for saving the researcher's bacon and I'm on my way. I make it to Rustboro City to start the Pokemon League Challenge, and I walk into the cutter's house where I'm given the HM cut. Seriously, is that it? At least last time I had to go catch a Farfetch'd, here I just walk up and speak to a guy. This is lazy writing of a game which is geared towards children, for fuck's sake. I fight all the surrounding trainers to get my level up to 13 before tackling the gym. They use rock types here, and Carl doesn't have any access to any water moves at this point. However, once I manage to get my curses up, I'm able to finish off Geodudes easily enough. In this gym was the first time I faced a double battle. For a quick history lesson, this generation was the first to introduce double battles, and due to this game throws out so many double battles at you, it's stupid. Now, this was not too much of a problem because they kept going after my partner, as the AI will just go after the weakest member. Once I was powered up, they both went down. So I faced my first gym leader, and it's Roxanne. She throws out her Geodude, and thanks to the power of Yawn, I can put Geodude to sleep and get my attack and defense up. The AI senses what I'm up to and starts defense curling for all it's worth. A critical hit takes a chunk out of the health, but the amount of defense curls have helped Geodude, so I decided to start growling to make it completely useless. I was worried I was not going to be able to do this, but then I got another critical which helped finish it off. I then got to level 15 and got Water Gun. Fuck you, motherfucker, I just achieved Pokemon Ex Machina. This battle then just became a piece of piss. The second Geodude goes down so easily, and once I get the nose pass to sleep, Wargun's able to finish it off. First badge obtained and a massive obstacle overcome. I head towards Rustraff Tunnel where the Devon employee has been robbed again by Team Aqua. I go over there to do the police's work where the thief has taken Mr. Briney's Wingull as a hostage. Pretty shit hostage if you ask me. I smack him around to get both the goods and the bird back. Mr. Briney is so grateful he tells me to come see him for a few favours at his cottage. I meet the employee who takes me to meet the president of the Devon Corporation, who immediately asks me to give his son, Stephen, a letter at Dewford Island. You lazy fucker, pick up the phone like the rest of us. In return, he gives me the Pokénav, which I simply do not give a toss about. As I leave, another employee updates it and adds a mobile to it. Hang on, see, now I have a phone? What are you playing at, Mr. President? Get off your lazy arse. I meet May and we have our second battle. She's nothing like Blue and Silver, is far too nice. This is a generation where Game Freak decided that the dickhead trainers were not good, so started making people way too nice. This is the reason we have these two wankers in our history. Well, good thing I had a horrible bastard then, isn't it? This battle's not hard at all and she's done in a matter of seconds. I head to meet Mr. Briney, who is attempting bestiality with good old Pico. Well, I heard a rumour he was. I took the offer to go to Dewford and head for the second gym. This gym is bugger all light available, but more becomes available with the more trainers I defeat. I decide to head next door and pick up a silk scarf, which increases the power of normal moves, and considering I'll mostly be using normal moves, then this becomes a very good item. In fact, it's actually invaluable. I enter the gym and it's a fighting gym, which works very well for Carl as he's part psychic type. However, I still have to worry that they are very hard hitting Pokemon. However, after a while I realised they weren't really a threat and it shouldn't be a problem. So I went after the gym leader Brawly. He sends out Matchup and I thought this would be a good matchup, but then he has moves such as Bulk Up and Seismic Toss. He woke up way too early for my liking and got a critical hit, which sets me up for a loss. I tried again and got him to sleep, and I managed to get 3 curses in before he woke up. I put him to sleep again and curse one more time and another tackle sees it off. He then sends out Meditite and it bulks up as well. Brawly uses the potion to get the health back up, but once he was asleep, I managed to get it down. He then sends out Makahita, I hope I pronounced that correctly, so just in case I went for another curse due to it using bulk up as well. After another potion, I managed to get him down and Brawly was done. I went off to the Granite Cave and picked up Flash as soon as I walked in, and I can see why, as the next floor you can't see a fucking thing. I got the chance to learn Confusion, but I turned it down due to Slowpoke's crap special attack. I make it to Stephen, who is looking for rare stones, and give him the letter from his father. He then gives me his number for my Pokénav. Hang on, what the fuck? Why am I delivering a goddamn letter then? I am not the go-between between you and your father. I get a lift to Slagpore City where I can see the whole of Team Aqua waiting patiently in line for the museum. I go see Doc and give him the Devon goods, and he tells me that I need to go see Captain Stern, who's in the museum. However, 2 Team Aqua grunts come in and want to steal those parts. And then the Team Aqua leader Archie turns up and starts his righteous bullshit. He wonders if I'm in Team Magma and tells me to keep out the way. Honestly, how the fuck does he think this? It's not like I see a 10-year-old dressed up as a policeman then thinking, shit, it's the arm of the law. You thick bastard, Archie. I then go out into the wild and smack the crap out of a lot of trainers because I can. Carl is actually quite a sadistic little bastard in nature, really. Actually, it is to get ready for May. I put her Wingull to sleep and start cursing, and luckily once I'm set up I can finish it in 1. Lombre is next, and I was worried about this due to its typing, but it used nature power which resulted in Swift, thank fuck, which resulted in me being able to get rid of it. Next came Combustion, and I thought this match was done, but then it got a burn which did me over. Second time round, Lombre used Absorb, which finished me off. Jesus Christ, I'm losing to May. Third time, I actually went into battle with full health and I had no problem. I just got a critical on the Combustion and it was out of my life. With a little bit more adventuring, I was able to get up to level 27 before I arrived in Morville City. I headed for the gym, but Wally wanted to battle first, and thankfully he's a pushover and he pisses off. I decided to hold off going to the gym because it's an electric gym, which would be an absolute nightmare, so I went around battling everyone else I could find instead. I got given the bike, which I really don't need as this game is fast enough as it is. I managed to fight the trainer family and I was worried I wasn't going to get through it, but battled through them all, stuck up wankers. I even went as far as Vernaduff Town just to get as much experience as possible. I level 32, went after the gym and I wasn't looking forward to this tour. And I managed to get through the Underlings okay due to their weird typing considering the gym we're in. But Watson was a completely different story. I managed to finish off both Voltorb and Electrike quite easily, but then Manectric uses one Shockwave and it's Night Night Carl. Second time round, I get to Electrike in a much better position and able to power up and take it out. Next was Manectric, and it used Howl for some odd reason. It then used Shockwave and paralysed me, and then the battle was over. I tried many times, but sometimes I was even struggling to get to Manectric, so I realised that I had to level up to stand a chance. But that chance came at level 34 in the way of Headbutt. Headbutt on Light Tackle is 100% accurate and has double the base power. Now it was time to fuck Watson over. Voltorb flew down and I got Electrike asleep and started cursing. One headbutt and it was gone. This time Manectric howled and that's all it could muster before it was knocked down with one hit. The final one was Magneton, and even though it was resistant, the fucker went down in two. Oh my, how one little move makes such a difference, and Watson the Knob was electrified by how good I was. I headed to Rusturf Tunnel and was able to smash some rocks together so two lovers can get their rocks off. Marl became my HM bitch and learned Strength and Rock Smash. Through more rock breaking I was able to head forward, and on the way the press tried to ruin my image, so I went straight after them to shut them up. I hate the press, although to be fair they have more presence in this game than the police do. So I wanted to ride the cable car, but two Team Magma members won't let me up, so I have to go through the fiery path. Traveling the next section, there are a shit ton of trainers to fight. I enter Ashland, however, because I was speeding through this as much as I could, I accidentally let Carl evolve into Slowbro, which meant I had to go back a hell of a lot, for fuck's sake. I landed in Falborough Town and did nothing really, I just walked through it and couldn't give a shit. I went to Meteor Falls where I saw Team Magma getting their hands on a meteorite off some random scientist. Archie and his cronies turn up to save the day, but then run off to Mount Chimney. Archie warns me about them and then buggers off himself. The scientist then tells me to go to Mount Chimney. Hint hint. Well, are you gonna go check? No, I didn't think so, you fucking lazy dick. I go back through the fiery path where I can now play on the front ride to get to Mount Chimney. Why am I rocking the cable car? Don't they tell you not to do that? I arrive at Mount Chimney where Team Magma and Aqua are taking their dogs for a walk. Such nice owners. I meet the Team Magma leader Maxie, who is hoping to use the meteorite to make the volcano go boom boom and create more land mass. Okay, what the fuck, this went up a notch. What happened to taking over Pokemon? No, let's potentially kill millions of people. Pokemon writers really want to spice the story up a bit. Also, he wants to make more landmass. A volcano explosion ain't gonna create that much landmass. Well, not the level you're thinking of. I don't think someone finished high school. Plus, there's plenty of land and I don't even know what you're moaning about. So Maxie sends out Mightyena. Oh, hang on, this is someone who actually starts strong. Thankfully, Headbutt does a lot of damage, and then he sends out Zubat. Oh, come on, you got my hopes up there. Camperupt is next, and that's a staple Pokemon who falls with Water Gun. Maxie somehow then ninjas away, and Archie thanks me for my help. I'm not doing this for your gratitude, you bearded knob. I leave Mount Chimney and head to Larbridge Town and went to the Steamy Gym. Unfortunately, no, not that type of steamy. And I hated this gym because there was a lot of jumping down holes and remembering where the fuck I needed to go. I get to Flannery and I thought this would be a piece of piss due to the typing. Numel and Slugma went down straight away and so did Camperut. Tokrul came out and then it used Sunny Day, and after it used Body Slam it slowed down a lot of the battle, but eventually it went down and Flannery was cooled off. One of the easy ones, thank God. I then receive the Go Goggles from May as soon as I walk outside, and I really think she's starting to stalk me. She tells me then to go to Petalburg Gym.
Bitch, don't tell me what to do!
Now I have a bike, I went down on Cycle Path and fought more people. Mr. Briney then takes me back to Slateport City. I really feel like I'm abusing this old man, but then he goes back to trying to have sex with his bird again. This means I can go back to Petalburg where my dad is a gym leader. Now this gym is the first of its kind and lets you pick the route you want to do. This is all about those stupid confusion or evasion bollocks. After playing around with the numpties, I meet my father Norman. Now I know this is not going to be fun. I fight Spinder first and use it as time to curse up. Spinder keeps using Teeter Dance, which is a right pain in the arse. I eventually wipe out Spinder and get to Vigoroth, and it goes down in one as well. However, Slacking finished me off with a feint attack. Slacking is such a monster. Honestly, if this thing is in Sword and Shield, it's going to be so scary. You combine Slacking and Galarian Wheezing, and this is going to be stuff of nightmares. Second time round, I managed to get to Vigoroth a lot easier and managed to get it down in two. I faced Slacking and got a flinch thanks to Headbutt, which was even better because I forgot Headbutt can flinch as well. I nearly managed to finish it off, but then it used Counter. Oh yeah, cheers you lazy bastard. Third time round I used Yawn instead, and then went for Curse and then when I tried to Headbutt. The plan worked, in two Headbutts it was gone. Thing, I can't never pronounce that one. There was no problem at all, and Norman went down. Who's the daddy now? Now, I was expecting that to take absolutely ages, but it didn't. Wally's dad then interrupts his tender moment between father and son to drag me away and give me Sir for helping his son. All I did for your son was to show him how to catch a Pokemon and then beat him down a bit. After that I no longer need the ferry service, which means Bryony has forever gone to have sex with a bird. I head to Route 117 and cross the water and I smack the press around again. I meet Stephen who just says hello and fucks off. Oh here we go, another Lance who does bugger all for me. I then started playing through the grass and fighting all sorts of people. I kinda got lost and couldn't remember where I was going to go. Eventually, with all my wandering around, I ended up at the weather station, and I couldn't go any further because Team Aqua had blocked the way. After fucking around the grass some more, I went back to the weather station because it was overrun by Team Aqua. I got to level 48 and learned Psychic and decided to remove Water Gun. I then faced Team Aqua admin Shelly, and she used Caravana. I took it down with a critical headbutt, but our mighty Yenna then came out and got a critical bite and a flinch. I managed to put it to sleep, but the bastard woke up after one turn and finished me off. I went back to the weather station again to take the bitch on, although one level weaker. Caravana again goes down in 1, and this time I go for Yawn and she swaggers me. I then use Yawn again and get flinched by its bite. Oh, for fuck's sake. I then knock myself out with confusion. Fucking hell. He swaggers me again, but this time headbutt hits. Fuck you, Shelly. She's then alerted because Team Magma are on the way to Mount Pyre. So potentially there's a dangerous situation on the horizon, but oh no, May wants to fight. Fuck off, love, this is not the time. Can you just use the option HPT does not want to fight? She uses Pelipper and I have to put it to sleep and start cursing. With a few curses, I'm in a good situation, able to headbutt away. I level up to level 48 again, but this time I don't learn Psychic. Lombra goes down in 1 and I remove Combuskin and 2 water guns. Now piss off and leave me be. I fight a few more trainers and ended up in Fortree City. I do the press again because they're still trying to wreck my image. I next meet Steven, who finally does something useful and gives me the Devon Soap so I can see Calcion. And with this I'm able to get to the gym as the little bugger was blocking my way. The gym itself is a flying type gym and I have to do a bit of trickery to get through the puzzle. I do like this gym and it makes me actually use my brain, but the Pokemon I face aren't really a challenge. I get to Anoa, who is such a cool design. I use Yawn on a Swabbly and it uses Yawn on me as well. I then start cursing, we both fall asleep at the same time, but then she sends in Tropius. She uses Sunny Day, which worries me, but thankfully I wake up. Tropius then uses Aerial Ace. Oh, come on, do you not have Solar Beam? I then get a +2 headbutt, and then I realise I ran out of headbutts because somebody forgot to use the Poké Center. So after using a few water guns, I got pissed off and reset. This time, Swablu uses Perish Song, which is an automatic fail for this because once a Pokemon uses it, anyone who hears it will faint in 3 turns, which means that it can't be done, you cheeky bastard. Third time I get rid of Tropius and get onto Pelipper, and I take it down with 1 headbutt. I then use Water Gun on Skarmory, and I know I just have to plod away at the Steel Bird. Winona uses Potion to make the process last even longer. Thankfully I do take it down and get to Altaria. It then uses Dragon Breath and manages to finish me off even though it was so close. I get to it again, but this time with more health, and headbutt the Skarmory instead of Water Gun, and it goes down in 2. This time Altaria uses Dragon Dance, which is worrying, but I managed to get a 1-hit KO with headbutt, and it's all she wrote really. I leave Fortree City to go play in the rain, which I thought was a nice touch when I played this back in the day. Yes, I am that old, remember I played this when Red and Blue came out, we all know that. I then spend out ages trying to work out where the hell I'm meant to go. I get to Larveridge Town and beat up people for information. I even go Steven's dad, who's doing fuck all behind a desk. Seriously, what is your job, by the way? Like, where the fuck am I meant to be going? This is Pokemon Wander Around version. I go see Professor Cosmo and give him back the meteorite, and he gives me the TM return. Now this fucker is a godsend. Why I didn't pick up this sooner, I don't know. I got rid of Headbutt and then I had this monster in my possession. I flew to Fortree, still playing the where the fuck we're meant to go game. Playing around in the wetlands some more, I finally make it to Mount Pyre. This place is ghost heaven, so I'm reliant on Water Gun here. I get to the top and start fighting Team Aqua Grunts. Now why do Pokemon teams always have the same Pokemon, and B, are always shit? I would love it if one of them had a Blastoise or something. Now before I do go to the top, I go to the interior because there is something very important that I need. People watching this may have been thinking, why the fuck have you not put Surf in? Good solid stab move. Well, it's because of this TM, Shadow Ball. With this I become a god because in this generation Shadow Ball is a physical move and it hits like a truck, which means it can be powered up by Curse. Later generations turn this into a special move, which makes far more sense. I go back up to see Archie nicking the red orb and find out Maxie has already pinched the blue orb, the dickheads. Come on, if these items are so important, why are they not guarded by someone? Anyone? Not just left there for anyone to take them? The old man gives me the Magma Emblem and he wants to talk to me, but I can't be arsed, I have things to do. Bye! I go to spend some of my well-earned money at Lily Cove City when May is outside and won't let me in without a battle. I don't even curse and just return her Tropius to death. Ludicolo comes out and uses Growl. What the hell is wrong with you? You're a fucking grass type. And then Pelipper protects. Why? Stop protecting! Combuskin gives me no trouble either and is dealt with pretty quick. Jesus, you really are shit, mate. I head Mount Chimney Way because the guide I was using told me to, where I found a secret entrance to the Team Magma base. I've never really done this bit before, so God knows where I'm going. I go around aimlessly running away from Gravelers and fighting Team Magma Grunts. Fuck me, this place is unnecessarily big. Eventually I get to Maxie, who is standing in front of Groudon, who is powered down for some reason. He then shows off the blue orb and the Groudon. What the fuck did that motherfucker just jump? Maxie then blames a 10-year-old child for things going tits up. Once again it's Mighty Yenna, the Swagger user, but now returns a death sentence for everything he has. Crobat goes down in 1, as did Camperate. Swagger didn't work, you wanker. So Team Magma fuck off, and so do I. I head back to Slowpoke City because I remember shit now, where Captain Stern is being interviewed, where we hear Team Aqua on the megaphone. Why are you on the megaphone, you dickhead? What absolutely shit thief, just announced that you're there? Then Captain Stern wonders where this noise is coming from. Oh wait, right behind us. Seriously, Game Freak, up your game. Archie then jumps in the sub and then swims away. I really don't think you can physically do that. Luckily, due to muscle memory, I know where they're going. I head to Lily Cove City and go to their oh-so-not-hidden lair. Oh, come on guys, at least Team Magma tried to hide theirs. I start playing with teleport pads, and whilst exploring, I pick up the Master Ball. Why the hell did they have a Master Ball? Can't they just use that for any Pokemon, including Kyogre? Well, just saying. I then go to the dock, but I'm held up by Matt, who has bulked up following the remake of these games. I swear to God, look at his design in Alpha Sapphire. He is massive, he's proper jacked. This then gives Archie enough time to piss off with the sub, so I leave the base, and now comes the most boring bit of the game. Water. A lot of water. After a lot of playing in the water, I end up in Moss Deep City. This place also has a gym, and if you've seen any other videos doing Emerald, it has the potential to be a right pain in the arse. Yes, this gym is a double speciality place. Luckily, my HM slave, now a Zoomerl, has always been with me on my double battle journeys, and more importantly, I have Shadow Ball, so bring it bitches. None of the trainers here pose a threat, and I actually like playing the puzzles with this one. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to be doing these puzzles when I'm sober. I get to the gym leaders Lita and Tate, where it's a double battle. I decide to use one curse to make things a little bit easier. I lose all my partners, but then Shadow Ball starts eating them alive. Claydol goes, and then Solrock goes down in one. I remove Lunatone in one, and it's just the last Xatu who calm minds again, which in later generations would be a smart move, but in this game, it's a stupid idea. That battle was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I then leave the gym and find Team Magma all going one by one to the Space Center. I start clearing house so I can get to the top. I eventually get there and see Stephen, who is with Maxie and Tabitha. Maxie tells us the great plan that he aims to blow up the volcano using rocket fuel. Hang on, is there any signs to say this would absolutely work? I think people in this game have got their signs completely wrong. I send in Carl to go alongside his Metang, who I'm sure I'll be seeing once again. Once again, I get swagging and hit myself. I now go for the finish, but end up hitting myself again. Third time I hit myself again! I managed to get rid of Mighty Yenna, but I'm finished off by Golbat's wing attack. For fuck's sake, Steven, you're meant to be as powerful as anything. Up your game, mate. At least Lance had a level 50 Dragonite. Maxie moans about expanding the landmass. Why, you thick moron? He then says, we have failed to make the volcano explode. How have you? Because you were beaten in a Pokemon battle. Just shoot us. If you were prepared to commit a lot of murder, then just finish us off. Pokemon trainer Maxie used gun. I'm sure he'll be fainting after that. Maxie pisses off to go warn Team Aqua about the error of their ways because their plan is equally as fucking stupid. I go to Steven's house and he gives me the HM dive, which lets me go underwater. Why didn't you give me that ages ago, you dickhead? I go out in the open sea and dive under, and at the time I was thinking that this was amazing. Also, how am I holding my breath underwater? I find the submarine and get back up and find myself in the seafloor cavern. I push some rocks because what is a Pokemon game without rocks, and battle some weak-ass Team Aqua members. I get through the puzzles and have a double battle against Shelly, who this time I beat quite easily. After the final bit of rock pushing, I had to think about that one, I make my way to see Kyogre, but I'm stopped by Archie. Archie then decides to have a fight, and this time he starts with Mighty Yenna. Fuck me, I'm done with that thing. Once again I get swaggy, but it backfires as I snap out of it straight away. Then Crobat uses Confuse Ray. Oh, fuck off! Thankfully I get away with it and one hit KO it, and I remove his Sharpedo, and that's the end of that. Archie's beaten. He foo-foo-foos me, and then he uses the Red Orb, awakening Kyogre, who also decides to use Jump. Damn, these are agile motherfuckers. Archie then gets a phone call to say it's raining outside, but far heavier than expected, and the team are in danger. Right, now how the fuck does that work? Seriously, Kyogre has not been outside for even a minute and the world is going to shit. No chance, bullshit, lazy writing. We get storms here in Australia all the time, and you don't see us lose our shit after a minute. Maxie arrives and tell Archie off for his dream being shit. Hang on mate, your plan was just as shit. Now, I've not gone over Archie's plan to create more water. His plan is way more destructive than Maxie's. He wants to create more water for Pokemon. Apparently there isn't enough already. However, his plan will probably result in the death of millions and millions of people, and eventually probably the world, give it time. Seriously, if you want to see the science behind this, I found this post by Aqua Team Matt and I've linked it in the description. It's a great read and argues that Archie's plan would eventually kill us all and essentially lead to a Mad Max-like future. To be fair, Archie, if you just wanted more water, you had the Master Ball, go see Groudon, and then send him to the polar ice caps, melt the icebergs, more water for the earth, death to millions, job done. Stephen then arrives and tells us to go to Sotopolis, again offering nothing to help the situation. Actually, I don't know how to get there, so how about fly me there, you bastard? I eventually find my way there after a bit of diving, and when I watch a little cutscene and watch Groudon and Kyogre play the best non-stop rock, paper, scissors game. On reflection, Groudon, you're absolutely fucked here, mate, but fair play for battling on. I just casually go have a look and see what they're both up to. They both seem alright, to be honest. They're just looking at each other. I find everyone on the coast doing absolutely nothing to help the situation. Stephen feels I should be getting involved, so takes me to go find Wallace. No mate, you should be calling the army, that's what you should be doing. I head into the Cave of Origin and meet Wallace. Wallace tells me about Rayquaza and shows that he has done nothing to sort this problem out. He tells me to go to the Sky Pillar where Rayquaza is living. Wallace actually then apologises for leaving me behind. Thank God, every other fucker just leaves us as if it's nothing. Wallace then leaves us to go back to the scene of the carnage, and leaves the 10-year-old in charge. Adults really are dickheads in these games. I head up to the tower and finally get to the top where I meet Rayquaza. I love this thing, especially its shiny form. I just walk up to him and he wakes up and he flies off. Oh, that was a bit easy. So I'm like, oh, now what? I fly back to Groudon and Kyogre and witness the cutscene. Rayquaza arrives and uses green light and tells the pricks to piss off back to the bedroom, which somehow works and he saves the world. No big battle. Oh, well that's a tad disappointing. For saving the world, Wallace gives me Waterfall and clears the way for me to enter the final gym. Oh no, it's a cracky floor gym. I need to make sure I stand on every tile before I can get through. This wasn't too bad on the DS, but on an emulator it's as fiddly as anything. I eventually get through and meet Juan, who looks like a magician. Juan is a water-type user, so I should be okay for this battle. First he sends out, oh fuck off, Love Disc. This is meant to be the last gym and threatening as anything. I use Return and get a crit to break its heart. He then brings out Crawdadon, to hope I pronounce that correctly, which is a lot better, but it still goes down in 2 hits. Next is Wishcash, who uses Rain Dance. Why? I'm a water type, and then it uses Earthquake. Why? 2 returns later and it's gone. Finally, it's his Kingdra. It uses Double Team, so I decide to put the bastard to sleep, but he has a berry to manage to wake himself up. He then uses Ice Beam and freezes me. Oh, come on. I end up losing and was really pissed off. Second time round, I wipe through his team again and get a Kingdra paralysed. This time I put it to sleep twice, and I was hit with a critical Ice Beam. I hit it with a Shadow Ball before Juan uses a Hyper Potion. Kingdra then woke up and used Rest. Oh, come on. He then used another potion and more double teaming, and I end up losing again. Third time round, I decide to use Curse, but get confused by Love Disc before I put it to sleep. I end up hitting myself 3 times in a row before I manage to even get my first curse up. Eventually, Return does finish it in 1. I get Juan to use his potions on Celio, and then it was time for the Kingdra. It starts a double team bollocks, and eventually I hit it, but then I'm killed by an Ice Beam again. For fuck's sake! Fourth time, I cursed 3 times and ended up killing everything in 1, even the Kingdra. I should have just done that in the beginning. Just give me the badge and piss off. With that annoying battle out the way, I now have enough badges to go face the Elite Four. I went west and used my newly acquired Waterfall to head up the waterfall. I then enter Victory Road where I'm met by Wally. I go straight after the Arteria and get a crit. Next is Delcatty and I get a crit on that as well. Haha! Roselia is next and it goes down in 1. Magneton, ah shit. I use Shadow Ball and know I'm in trouble against this. It then uses Thunderbolt, which does so much damage. A full restore puts Wally in total command and I can't finish it off and Magneton finishes me. Oh for fucking hell, I've been beat by Wally. I should just give up right here because this is absolutely pathetic. And I forgot to save as well, so I had to do the one fight again. I get to Wally again and can't use Yawn because of Safeguard, but finish Altaria with Return. I start cursing to beef myself up and take out Delcatty in 1. Roselia uses Toxic, which puts me on a timer against Magneton, and Thunderbolt does so much damage and finishes me off the following turn. Third time and I start cursing, knowing I need to beat Magneton. I get past Delcatty and Roselia, but without copping a Leech Seed first, and Thunderbolt screws me over again, and this is the same for the 4th and the 5th time as well. Eventually I get lucky and put Delcatty to sleep and able to use that time to curse up, and with the extra health I was able to one-shot Magneton with a crit. Altaria uses Safeguard for some strange reason rather than just finish me off, and Gardevoir uses Future Sight. I was there for the taking, you dumb fuck, but at least this is the last I'll see of that little knob. This time Victory Road is even more annoying with boulders to push, fuck all light, and trainers to face, but at least they serve experience meals for Carl. After a lot of wandering around like a bellend, I make it to the Elite Four. It really is slow and steady winning the race. I have no idea how the hell I'm going to do this one, to be honest. This is because I start against Sydney, the Dark user, and he sends out Would You Expect, Mightyena. However, this prick knows Crunch, which does so much damage. I start cursing immediately and take it down with a plus due return. Next is Shiftry, who uses Double Team Bollocks, which doesn't really work. Next was Cacturin, who finished me off with a Needle Arm. I think this is going to be very, very hard. I try again and finish off by Double Edge with Mightyena. I tried Brute Force with a return, but that didn't work either. The next attempt it used Roar. Oh, the wanker! How to make this even harder. He then uses Sand Attack instead of 2 Crunches, which gives me a lot more health to play with. I get a crit on Shiftry, but then Cacturin finishes me off again. Now this is a proper Elite Four. I'm buggered even on the first one. I decide that I need to grind and get Carl up to level 72, and I look out big time as Mightyena goes for 2 Sand Attacks when I use Yawn, so I keep my health up. I start cursing, but then he goes for Roar. Fucking hell! Second time round, the same thing happened, but he didn't wake up and I finished it off. Siftree is also sent out the way, and then Cactroon went for Leech Seed. Lucky me, so I was able to finish it in 1, thank God. Crawdunt used Swords Dance, and thankfully that went down as well. Absol was last and went for Swords Dance, and I was able to finish it in 1. That's 1 down, and my God, that was so hard. Next was Phoebe and her ghosts. I feel I had the edge going into this due to the type advantage. Dusclops uses Protect first turn, and then I use Shadow Ball, but it's not strong enough for the kill. I used Curse, and then it used Curse itself, which means I was done in 4 turns, and that was the end of that. Before I started again, I discovered that Bennett has Grudge, which would destroy the PP of the move I needed, as Return was absolutely useless. Second time round, I managed to finish off Dusclops and the Bennett in 1, but then her second Bennett had Thunderbolt, which paralysed me. I got through it and the second Dusclops, but then a Sableye was able to pick me off. This was not going to be fun. I started to realise that Dusclops would always use Protect, which allowed me to get a free Curse and I could finish it off, but the Bennett kept using Grudge, which finished off the run completely. As it was faster, I was reliant on luck on it not using it. I tried to put it to sleep, but it had Insomnia, so that wasn't really happening either. Fuck me, what an Elite Four. I flew this game so far, but now at the end I'm struggling. After much thinking, I came to the decision I'm going to have to delete a move, and I decided to get rid of Yawn, which is a huge gamble. However, I still had the problem of even getting past the first Dusclops, because it may have Curse. I finally get to the second Bennett in a strong position, and I'm able to get a critical Surf. The Dusclops does a little bit more damage, but then the Sableye finishes me off. Oh, come on. The following attempt, I get to Sableye in a very good position, and this time I've lost all my Surf's PP thanks to Grudge. This time it used Double Team, and 1 Shadow Ball was all it took. Thank God that was all over. Jesus Christ, this is absolutely insane. Third up is Glacia, please God be easier. Celio was first and it put the hail up whilst I cursed. 1 return and it was thankfully down. Gaily nearly went down with 1 return, so I cursed while it received a potion. Then it used Crunch. Oh, for fuck's sake, does everybody have Crunch in this game? Another Gaily comes out and it puts the hail up again and goes down. Her next Celio uses Blizzard and I get rid of that, but then Walrein enters and it finishes me off straight away. I tried again and managed to get my curses up, but Celio has Body Slam and managed to paralyse me. I couldn't waste any turns of paralysis because of the hail damage, and this happened a few times and that bastard just kept Body Slamming me to paralysis. I kept trying and cursed 5 times and then started destroying everything with all the returns. The damage was starting to wear me down slowly. I got to Walrein with bugger all health. It used Surf and left me with 10 HP, and the hail was still up and it had to be finished in this one move, and thankfully it went down. It's now time for the last member of the Elite Four, Drake, the Dragon User. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I cursed up against Shelgon, who used Protect and let me get 4 curses up. I then went on the attack and finished it in 1. Next was Flygot, and it had, oh for fuck's sake, it had Crunch as well, but thankfully it went down in 1. I knew I was absolutely screwed though. Salamence came out and it wiped me out with a Dragon Claw. Why does everything have the ability to take me out? It's like this game is actually trying to give me a challenge. Second time round, I only used 2 curses and was able to wipe the Shelgon in 1, but Crunch on the Flygon does so much damage. Okay, so 2 curses will get rid of Flygon, but then the Salamence, oh come on, that's got Crunch as well. I try again and survive the Salamence Crunch, but couldn't finish it off in 1. I got to it again and managed to finish it off, and Arteria came out and then finished off the job. I kept trying and trying and trying, hoping to get lucky, but it wasn't happening. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, I need to do some grinding. I got myself to level 76 and I decided I had to make some move changes. I got rid of Surf in return and put Yawn back in with Psychic. I won't go through the Elite Four again, but this time it was a lot easier. However, when I got to Glacia, I decided to make another change. I thought that I'm only going to need 1 attacking move from now on, so I got rid of Psychic and put Double Team in instead. I arrived back at Drake at level 77 and prayed the results would be different. Shelgon was put to sleep while I used a mixture of Curse and Double Team. I kept putting it to sleep while I was able to set up the maximum and everything, and then once this was done I began the Shadow Balling, which killed it in 1. Flygon was next and got a Crunch with a crit. Of course it fucking did. I then got to the Salamence and managed to finish it in 1. Altaria missed with Dragon Breath and went down. Kingdra went for a Dragon Dance and was sent packing. Thank Christ Drake was done. Without a shadow of a doubt, this has been the hardest Elite Four out of all the challenges I've done so far. This was even harder than the Magikarp challenge. Put that shit into perspective. Just the champion to go, and it turns out to be Wallace. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Does anyone see the massive plot hole here? So Wallace is the champion. To get to the Elite Four, you need Waterfall, which you can only get by meeting him. Well, no wonder this little shit is the champion. He can stop any would-be champions even getting a chance. What a cheating wanker. I was hoping this was going to be quite easy as Wallace is a water trainer. I put Wailord to sleep before I had a time to Dynamax and kill us all, and with it asleep I started double teaming and then cursing. And once I was ready I threw my balls all over its face. Only 1 of my balls was needed for the Lord. Ludicolo was next, which could have been an arse, but it was sent off as well. Tentacruel could be a thorn in my side because I know it has Toxic, but thankfully thankfully it went for a Hydro Pump and missed, which led to its demise. Milotic was no threat at all, like it is in VGC. Whiscash was a joke and has no right being an Elite Four Pokemon. Finally, it was Gyarados who went for a Dragon Dance but fell to my beautiful, beautiful balls. And that was it. Carl the Slowpoke is the Pokemon League champion. What an absolute hero. I tell you what, he has battled through this one. This has been real blood, sweat and tears. May rocks up and Birch decides to judge my Pokedex. Sorry mate, I've not really been interested in helping you to be honest. I then enter the most boring Hall of Fame ever and get my name put up as a legend. And to reflect, I actually enjoyed this one as well. However, Jesus, that Elite Four, woof. I'm glad I'm not doing that again. Well, the game isn't done as there is still one more challenge, and thank God it's not red. I go downstairs and get the SS ticket from my dad, but to be honest, I'm done travelling, so how about you go take the ticket, Dad, and become a better gym leader, because you got whipped by your own sperm lad. Me, on the other hand, I have other plans and head to Meteor Falls. With Waterfall now in hand, I will go explore and reach the point I need to be. It's time for the final challenge. The guy who's given me the worst pep talks in the game, Steven. Now, I'm not going to go into this level 100 because I want to see if I can do it at my current level, as I do like a challenge. His Pokemon are around the high 70s and are all fully evolved, so I think this is quite a fair fight. He starts with Skarmory, who I thought would be great to set up on. Oh no, was I wrong. I put it to sleep and then notice it has Aerial Ace, which is 100% accurate regardless about the double teaming I do. Shadow Ball does absolutely nothing to it and I have no health whatsoever, so I've got to start again. Second time I get my curses and double teams up, but then he withdraws Skarmory for Aggron, who then uses Thunder and it hits. Oh come on. I try again and Skarmory uses Toxic. Oh bloody hell. I have to start again because there is no way I can last the effects of the poison. And now I have to keep hoping that Skarmory doesn't use it. Oh, it does. Again, and again, and again. I get to Aggron again, but then I get hit by Thunder again. Like, how the hell? I managed to get to the same point and put it to sleep, and even with a full restore, I'm able to get out of the way. He then sends out Cradley, who goes down in 2 Shadow Balls. I get to the amazing Metagross, who is part Steel, but receives neutral damage due to its Psychic typing. He hits me twice with Psychic, even though I have my double teams up. This game is out to kill me. After more toxic bollocks, I finally get to the stage where I get rid of his Metagross, and it's back to Skarmory. Steven uses a full restore and I realise that I'm running out of PP for Shadow Ball, and this ends up being the case because Steven keeps using full restores and I've realised I've actually started the battle with 4 less balls than I should have. After more poison and more thunder, I had to go off and have a think as this was not working at all. So I thought about my options. I looked at Slowpoke and thought, what could I do with you? Going to level 100 would be an easy option, but I swore I wasn't going to do that, nor do any grinding. Then I looked into the dopey bastard's eyes and it hit me. The Slowpoke line are not known for being massive attackers, but they're known as massive tanks. So I looked at the TMs and there was my answer, the TM for rest. I took a gamble and got rid of Yawn. So here was my plan. I started cursing and once my health got low enough, I rested, which would get rid of any toxic status. And when I woke up, Aerial Ace would do bugger all because of the cursing. When it was safe to, I would then use double team. I got rid of Skarmory using this tactic, and when I thought it was safe, I rested against Aggron, but then he went for a Solar Beam. Thankfully, due to the double teams, it couldn't hit me, nor could its Thunder. I chipped away slowly and got rid of it. Cradley went down the same way as it couldn't hit me. Next was Metagross, who still managed to get me with Psychic, but I was at full health so it wasn't too bad. Even with Steven trying to heal it, I managed to take it down in 2 hits. Next time Claydol, but I decided to rest to be safe, which was good because Claydol is not a big attacker. I woke up and 1 Shadow Ball saw it off, and finally it was down to his last Pokemon. The last Pokemon of this whole challenge, Armdarlo, who had Aerial Ace, but it didn't matter because of the cursing, and the bastard went down in 2 hits. And I can't believe it, I've actually done it. I've completed this challenge, and I wasn't even level 100. Carl, you have been a magnificent beast, and you deserve a well-earned break, as have I. My god, I am defo getting the champagne out for this one. So to answer the question, can you complete Pokemon Emerald with just a Slowpoke? Well, the answer is, fuck yes you can. And I suppose I'm going to have to tackle Pokemon Platinum. We'll give it some time and I will get to it at some point. For everyone who stuck around to the end, I really hope you enjoy it and thank you so much for watching. As always, if you want to see more, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, I've been HPT and he... Hang on. My Slowpoke's a female. I've been calling a Carl the whole episode. Ah, fuck it, it stands. I've been HPT, and she has been Carl the beautiful assassin of death. Bye bye.